It is Wednesday. Alright. We're building the Droideka today. And the camera decides to freeze. Alright, and we're back. Alright. This is a smaller build, so hopefully I'll be able to finish this today. Okay. We got some shots of the Droideka. Very cool. Love it. Okay. Cool shot of the Droideka. 25-year anniversary. Super expensive Lego book. Okay. And we go. And I already cannot find a piece. I am glad that I was able to get off work relatively on time today. And I did not leave my mouse in the office. That is always a win. I think I got lucky today with work. Stuff that I got assigned today was not as bad, so I will take that as a win. I've never seen this piece before. Pretty cool. Zuzu is going a little crazy right now. I already fed her, so I think she just wants attention because I did not work from home today. She's crying like she's been tortured. Even though I just fed her. I fed her because I was like, she's gonna go crazy later, so I'm just gonna feed her right now. And she is still going crazy. Or maybe it's because she's having the zoomies right now. Probably because she's been asleep all day because I haven't been home, so she's just been sleeping, and now she is super energetic. But this past weekend, I went swimming for the first time in a while. Last time I swam was before I moved. Like, once I started preparing for the move, I haven't been to the pool because I've just been so tired. That was... I think I moved, mid-April? Mid-April, I think. Mid-April, so I probably started to pack around April or late March, so I haven't been to the pool since then. Which is what, like 3 months? which is not good. Before that, I was swimming at least twice a day, not twice a day, twice a week. I wish I could swim twice a day. 2 to 3 times a week, but at least twice. Um, yeah. So I haven't swum in 3 months, and then my friend wanted me to look at her form, because I used to coach. So she's like, come look at my form, and I've done it before with her. So she's like, now you're back, you can teach me swimming again. So we went swimming, and hung out, and she treated me to lunch, but I realized how weak I have gotten and how out of breath I am just by not having been to the pool for 3 months. And that is not good. Because I haven't, so since moving, I've been so tired, and then I just haven't, is that there is a team that I swim with here that I used to swim with before I moved away, that I should probably go back to. But just been so tired with work. Like, literally after work, all I want to do is lay on the couch and do nothing or fall asleep. But I really should get back into the pool. Back to the pool, or at least the gym. But then I'm so self-conscious in public that every time I go into a place that I'm not familiar with, that I haven't been to before, is always a challenge. And that's why I put off, like, whenever I move, I put off going swimming or going to get a membership at a gym or a pool, whatever. I put it off for so long because it's just scary to me. Yeah. But I probably should. I should. And the other thing is, I don't like to go to the gym or the pool whenever there is a bunch of people. And now the only time that I can go is either before work or after, which I work 8 to 5, so it's like regular hour where most people are at work. So the only time that I can go to the gym is also where everyone else is free to go. So it's gonna be rush hour, and I hate it. I hate having to work out in a crowd. So yeah, that is also one reason I have not gone to the gym. And I wish I could wake up early. If I can't wake up early, I would. But I cannot, because my sleep is precious. So so I'm pretty much just making excuses. Yep. But going to swim last weekend was a wake-up call. And whether I would do something about it is a question for future me to answer. But I do still really like teaching, at least. I will say one thing I do not like about teaching, especially with kind of like this where I am in the water with them, is how cold it gets. Not that the pool is particularly cold, but like when you're teaching, you are like stopping and explaining things and looking at them swimming, so you're not moving a lot, and like you just get you're just not moving in the water, and your body gets cold. So that is one thing I do not like. And oh, look at this piece. This is cool. I haven't seen this one before. So your body just get cold because you're not moving, and then you're just freezing, and then shivering while you're talking. So like while you're explaining things, you're just shivering. That's one thing I don't like, because I get cold very easily. If I'm moving, like it's fine, but for teaching, you're not moving a lot, so I don't. I hate that I get cold so easily, but it is what it is. But after we swam, we got In-N-Out, which, having not been in the West Coast in almost 2 years, I do miss In-N-Out. And I know some people think it's mid or overrated, but I truly love In-N-Out. Like, it is... In-N-Out is my top tier fast food. And I know a lot of people dislike In-N-Out fries, like plain fries. I'm not talking about animal style fries, like plain fries. I know it gets shit on a lot, but In-N-Out fries are like one of my top tier fries. And I don't like ketchup, so I eat it plain. Like, controversial take. I will rate In-N-Out fries higher than McDonald's fries. And again, this is no ketchup because I don't like ketchup. I eat it just like as it comes. Yeah, I would rate In-N-Out fries over McDonald's fries. Don't come for me. It's a personal opinion. And burgers too. I don't really get burgers at McDonald's. Yeah, we got In-N-Out, which I haven't had for so long. And there is going to be one opening close to me soon, because my friend The friend that I went swimming with, she doesn't live super close to me. It was like a 40-minute drive. But supposedly there is one that is going to open up closer to me, so I am also excited for that. Another good thing about moving back to the West Coast. And also, like, it is super affordable, In-N-Out. Like, you can, I think a meal, like, one of the sets, is like 8 something, so like under $9, and then the double, I think, and I never get the double, but the double is like 10 something, so. In this economy, if I can get a meal, a decent meal within $10, that is like a win. A win. But it was so crowded. I don't know why, but In-N-Out is always crowded. Even in California where, like, it's not really a thing. Well, it's a thing, but it's not like, wow, an In-N-Out, you know, because they're kind of everywhere. Even when I was in California, like, In-N-Out is always busy. But they move pretty fast, so, and it's fast food, so, like, not a big deal. Also, doesn't this, like, this is supposed to be dark gray. It doesn't look like dark gray. It looks like light gray. I'm so confused. I keep looking for light gray, and it's not light gray. But yeah, we had In-N-Out. That was awesome. She asked if I wanted hot pot or In-N-Out, and I wanted both, but we had a I have a hot pot place closer to me, so that's why I didn't go with hot pot. Plus, it was just lunch, so so we had In-N-Out, but I'll get hot pot another time. I definitely built this wrong. Okay. Yeah, lunch, swimming, In-N-Out, great day. Great day. And then after that, I got back and I streamed a little bit of Chants of Sennaar. I feel like I am close to the end of that game. Even though I am certain that I'm not gonna 100% it on first try, but I am having a lot of fun. With puzzle games, the thing is sometimes I rage and then I just start looking up I just start looking up solutions instead of thinking for myself, which is not the point of a puzzle game. But so for Chants of Sennaar, I feel like it's like a good difficulty that uses my brain, but also not too difficult to the point that I want to quit. Plus, it's like language related, so it's pretty interesting to me. So I am excited. Hopefully I will finish it this weekend. I don't know how much is left, but I think I'm nearing the end. But yeah, that was last weekend, and then I watched a movie. I wanted to talk about the movie. It is a Taiwanese film that came out recently. I think it was 2025, maybe. It won a lot of awards. But it just got onto Netflix recently. So and I'm glad that the US Netflix has it too. It's called A Foggy Tale in English. In Chinese, it's Da Mong, and then in Taiwanese, it's Da Bong. It just means a dense fog. So, I think A Foggy Tale is an appropriate translation, I would say. Plus, it also ties into the story within the story that we'll talk about in a bit. Obviously, there's gonna be spoilers. But honestly, I do think so it's like a drama, so like there's really no like plot twists or anything. And even if you know what happens in the end, like the thing worth watching about the film is not like obviously how it ends matters, but it's also how they present the story, how it's shot, and how the storytelling goes. So even if I spoil it, I still highly recommend watch. But the movie is set in the 50s. And I'm not gonna go into too much detail about the historical background because I am not very good at history, so I don't want to I want to give the wrong information. But it was during the era of martial law in Taiwan. It was after the Japanese occupation has left, because they left after World War II. after that, shortly after, Taiwan went into martial law, and it is a period that is called the White Terror. So basically, there wasn't much like freedom of speech, or freedom of press, stuff like that. Because the tension with China. So, that is the historical background of the film. It was set during the martial law era. The premise is pretty straightforward. We have a little girl. I don't remember how old she is in it, but probably like 12, maybe 12 or 13. Like, she's at that age where she's still innocent in many ways, but old enough to understand what's going on around her. So that's the main character. It's a little girl. I gotta make 3 of these. Okay. The main character is a little girl. And the film starts with her interaction with her brother. Her brother is on the run from the police and I guess the military. So the movie doesn't tell us why he is on the run, but you can probably guess by the historic setting that it is probably because of some sort of activism, if you want to put it that way. So we have someone on the run, and the film starts with him being caught, essentially. And the whole premise of the film is that after he got caught, I think it was probably like a year or two later. Well, after he got caught, the little girl's parents die. So it's not it's a very sad story, but so she and her little brother the uncle comes to take care of them. So she now lives with the uncle, and then one day they got notified that the brother, the little girl's older brother, who got caught in the beginning, has been executed, and that they can go and pick up his body, essentially. And this is like an era where like almost everyone is not living a great life. Like, everyone, resources are limited. Even just like able to put food on the table is a luxury. So the uncle, even though the uncle seems to be pretty good to them, he is like, obviously the little girl, once she heard the news, was very upset. And the uncle is like, look, because to pick up the body, you need money, right? Money to the government, money to bring the body back. So the uncle is like, look, the amount of money that we need to go get his body, like, that money is enough to beat us for an entire year. Like, I'm not gonna... He didn't say it that way, but they don't have the money to pick up his body, is what he's trying to say. And obviously the girl is upset. Like I said, she is at that age where she understands what's happening, but she is still naive and innocent enough, so like to not understand the realistic situation about that. So she runs away. And the whole premise is her going to Taipei on her own, looking for her brother's body and the people she meets along the way. Plus gathering the money that she needs to pick up her brother's dead body. And immediately she runs into some not good people. Some people try to sell her. She got rescued by I don't know what the term for it is. So like, it's not like taxi drivers. They don't have cars, but well, there is cars, but they're not rich enough to drive cars. It's like a driver for a tricycle. So this guy rides a tricycle and like brings people around. So I don't know how you call that. We'll just call him the driver. So because she left her bag on the tricycle, the guy tried to return the bag and found out that she's been like tied up and gagged and was being sold. Like the bad people were planning to sell her. And then he beat everyone up and saved the girl. So that's how they met. The driver is what the other main character essentially. That's how they met, and then he's like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, "I'm trying to pick up my brother's dead body at this place," which is like, I think like a funeral home. And hold. And we're back. And now we're back. Okay, so that's how they met, the little girl and the driver. Essentially they become friends. The guy is like, "I'm gonna help you find your brother's..." Well, actually, he was like, I'm gonna help you find the money. I'm gonna help you," right? Because he's like, you don't have any money. And she was like, "But I have $40." And then he's like, "You need $1,000." So like, that's how naive she is. But yeah. So all right. Wait a minute. I'm missing something here. Oh, I missed right? Okay. And on to Act 3. Alright, so they meet various different kinds of people along the way. But I think it was portrayed really well. That it like those people, these characters are a product of their time, right? Resources are extremely limited. It is essentially everyone for themselves. Even if you do want to, you know, be nice to other people, lend a hand, like you could barely take care of yourself at that point. And so you can really see that, these people are not under that historical, setting that they're in. They are kind of morally ambiguous. Even for the driver, like, even he is one of the main protagonists and he does, like, help out the little girl throughout the whole thing. Like, even at one point where the little girl has a watch that the brother gave her before he got caught, and she's like, I know this is valuable, I can sell this and get the money that I need. And so there's this part where the driver takes the little girl to go essentially pawn the watch. And he brings her to that place and says, like, look, this guy is gonna give you the best price. And he's like, I'll give you 90 for it. And then she's like, what, just 90? I know it is worth more. And he was like, well, if you want, you can go ask around. And so she asks around and no one would give her a better price. And so she ends up selling the watch that her brother gave her for $90. And then we later learned that, well, first of all, the other vendors that, was around was all in on this, to get people to sell things for cheap. So they're all in on this. Plus, and we find out later that the driver was also in on this scheme, that he also gets a cut. So, and he was saying something like, I know the watch is worth $500, which is like half of what the little girl needs to get the body. So you see that even though this guy, is most of the time like trying to help, right? He is still a product of his time, that he needs to survive even for a few more bucks. Like, she's willing to, scam a little girl to get a few more bucks. So yeah, we see I do like, we see a little bit of complexity and morally ambiguity about people, and it is really just, it is just a product of their time. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna take all the opportunity that you can to make a few more dollars to survive a few more days, So I think that is well written. And then the other thing that I really liked was that it's a very heavy film, right? Just by the premise of it, and under that, you know, historical time period, um, it's a heavy story. Like, it's sad. It is sad. But I think the way that the story was told, it is told in a pretty humorous way, in a very comedic way. I think. Oh, I gotta lock in for the sticker. We got 2 stickers. But the whole story is presented in a pretty humorous way. Especially the driver, he is like kind of like a comedic relief character. Not entirely, but I think his like personality, the setting, like he brings the jokes to the table pretty much. But then you also find out there were parts of the story where you find out like his kind of sad and dark past. So again, the complexity is there. I feel like the characters are pretty well rounded. Yeah. But I think having seen, or like, there are other movies that are, you know, set in this time period. But and it's a very sad period of history, so you know, most of these stories are gonna be like emotional, and tragic. You know, it's not exactly the time period for comedies. So I think this film being able to present it in that way, it is very special, and plus I think it's done pretty well. Like, I think it is the right amount of emotions and the right amount of comedy in it. So I do really like that part. And then going back to the brother a little bit, I was saying like how the title of the translation of the film, you know, A Foggy Tale, is not just this tale of the little girl looking for or trying to get the brother's body back, but also this story that the brother wrote. And he leaves this like notebook for the little girl, with the story in it. And again, this is why, like, even though the story doesn't explicitly say why he was arrested, you can probably infer that he was too educated. Like, you know, that's how I'll put it. He was too educated. And in that era, like, where the government wants to have people control, it's probably wants to have people under control. Probably not the best time to be educated. Not that you shouldn't, but you know, they have it hard. Yeah. But yeah, the story within the story is one that the brother had written. Um, and I think it is actually pretty cool because you get two versions of the story. One that was told to the little sister, and then one that was told to, they have another older sister that the little girl ends up going to see. So there's two versions of the story, and we learn of the little girl's version first, where it's the story goes. The story goes, there are two droplets of water in the river that are kind of jealous of the water droplets in the cloud. You know, they're like, if you're part of the cloud, you can see the entire scenery. So they're all very excited to essentially evaporate into the cloud so they can be up there. Which they end up, the two droplets end up becoming clouds. And they learn that, you know, their destiny is to make this land grow. So like they learn the cycle of life. Essentially, they're like, you know, one day we will have to return to the soil, and you know, give life to this land. And it just kind of ends there. Like, you know, they're living their best life. They learn the cycle of life, and they become clouds where, you know, they are able to enjoy the scenery. That's the version that was told to the little sister. But the version that was told to the older sister, which we find out later, much later on, is that only one of the droplet becomes the cloud, and one of the droplet becomes the fog, which ties back to the title of the movie. So the one that turns, you know, into the cloud sees the scenery, and the one that turns into the fog is kind of lost. And we can probably guess that the story changed because one of the droplet is the brother, and he realizes that he really doesn't have a whole lot of future being captured. But part of the story is that the droplet that is stuck in the fog, he meets another droplet and told him that, you know, your friend in the cloud wanted me to tell you that everyone is perfect in their own way. Like, you're complaining that you're stuck in the fog right now, but someone else is gonna be jealous of where you're at right now. So I think that, I don't know, there's a lot of way to interpret it. I don't think there's like a right way to interpret the story, and how it reflects their situation. I also think that, you know, briefly knowing the brother, I feel like he would not have regretted what he had done. I feel like one way or another he also achieved his goals, and that he could also be the droplet that you know, became the cloud. And I would like to think that, you know, he is not the droplet that is stuck in the fog. But that's how the story within the story goes. But then we come to the... Right, I'm not going to go into too much detail of what happens in between. Lots of stuff happened in between. And you know, it's kind of like a story between the little girl and the driver. And then they later went to look for her older sister, who who was sold to be a bride as a kid. So they never actually met. She just knows of this sister that was in the city. So they went to her for help because they don't have money. So then, you know, there's this story between the two sisters as well. And then we come to the climax. I personally think it's the climax of the story is they finally found where the body is. And it turns out to be at this like medical school. And they took them to look for the body, right? Because they don't know what they don't know what their brother looks like. So they went to sorry, I'm concentrating. Hmm. Confusion. Ah, there we go. Got the wires in.